Hey, seeing you on our teeth. We are live. Hey, man. Look, baby, long time coming. You ready to get this thing kicked off?
Man, let's do it, man. Let's go.
Let's do it, baby. Hey, what do you do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the AdminisTraders Podcast with my co-host,
JoJo, baby.
Hey, man, where is this boy? Man, what did it do, baby? Look, man, we are back to work, back to the grind, man. How you been feeling, brother?
I'm good, man. You know, I got, life happened with the hurricane. How you doing? You back in place?
Look, man, that hurricane came through. Dude, I thought, you know how I was prepared, bro. I had like battery packs, I got fans, I got everything, right?
Yeah.
But still, when the power went off, I said, oh man, it'll be back on. Dude, I laid back down, dude. I slept through the hurricane, dude. Dude, probably about a few hours after that, I felt a little bead of sweat. I said, yeah, man, that power ain't coming back, bro. 7 days later. Hey, man, I felt displaced, bro. It was rough, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, what about yourself, man? Did you lose power?
Well, I lost power where I was staying. You know, we didn't have it for a day and a half. And then I didn't have it at my place for like 3 days. And, I couldn't get in, with that Wi-Fi and that garage door and all that mess. So I finally got in, but now got a quote today for my fence.
Oh yeah, 2,000.
2,500.
I think the price on these fences went up, man. I don't know if it's the price of wood or something that's happening, bro. But it's too much out here in these streets, man. I'm talking about everything is going up. I was talking to one lady today. She said her fence is 10,000. And so it's a few people that share it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So they all got to split that down. But man, look, bro. Look, man. I'm so glad I'm not a homeowner. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I will tell you it was rough. And I do know some people that still don't have power. My secretary, Ms. Flores, she still doesn't have power. So shouts out to her. When we left school today, I think they said that Center Point was in her backyard. They were doing stuff, so she should be getting ready, man. So, hey, man, it's been rough out here, man. So big shouts out there.
Yeah.
We survived, y'all. Big shouts out to everybody that survived. I knew it was rough. Hey, man, but now, even with that, even with that tragedy, even with the hurricane, that did not stop those markets.
The sad part about, I know for us in particular, you lose power and Wi-Fi, you got to worry about whether or not your home is damaged. A lot of people, bless them out there, because they got it a lot worse than we did. But I was a little disappointed with all that because on that Monday I could not trade.
Couldn't trade
at all.
Dude. Yeah, I think it was rough Monday. Tuesday I jumped down though, because shit, man. So dude, I just got fed up and I said, man, somebody got to do something, dude. So I called the emergency number. I said, look, I know y'all got something to get me out this garage, man. Somebody got something to get me out. So the dude said, hey, I'll meet you there. He popped it. Dude, it felt like once I got my car, bro, the hurricane was over. I got power and everything, dude. So Tuesday, I just drove around, man. I drove around pretty much all day. When I got ready to trade, bro, I would pull over in the parking lot and then just get some stuff done real quick, man. Then I drive back to the next person's house I'm going to. Dude, it was crazy, man. Dude, out here in these streets, man. But yeah, I'll do say I'm glad to be back home. But yeah, bro, the markets kept on running, brother. Kept running.
Nothing stopped.
Now I will say, for me, Tesla, bro. I really think we got to cover that off the top because so many times, bro. And since we've been gone, everything went crazy. But man, I'll even go in and share the screen as we recap what this Tesla, because I told everybody in that post, I said, man, we was talking about this Tesla. Oh, hold up, wait a minute. I was doing a little research. Hold up.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hold up, man. Let me see here, and I'll pull this Tesla up. Oh man, I got so much stuff on my screen, you can't even see this. Let me see if I can do. So you see it. You see it. Look at that. Look, just look at that. This is Tesla here. This is down here. Can you see that, Jose?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is down here when we said, hey y'all, grab y'all some Tesla. I remember that conversation so vividly. Down here, we said, hey y'all, get you some Tesla. I remember that conversation so vividly. And now, where's Tesla from 166 to 252? Hey man. Hey man. Shouts out to you, bro.
I like the thing is, when you get in there and you start looking at charts like that, and then it becomes more of a chart thing. I mean, more of a fundamental thing. I know we've been doing this a while to where we know that manipulation happens, stock chart happens, all of that happens, but you have to know what your fundamentals, and when those stocks are fundamentally sound, you can't discredit or discard anything that happens with them. When it comes to the market itself, you have to be able to know that it's going to happen. The market is there for you with the ups and the downs. And so what I think in particular with Tesla, we both knew whatever had been happening previously to this rise was something that people needed to dump. People needed a reason to get back in. People, and so what happened was, they issued a statement that they had, more orders, for through the end of the year, or something newsworthy like that nature. But the chart itself was leading you to look at and listen for any news that was going to make it bounce. And we kept saying that. We kept saying, this market is giving you a reason, to get in, and it did. And
yeah, I think after the China visit, it was all downhill, bro. But I want to hold on to something you said about that manipulation. And so I want to get into a little bit of that news for tonight. And when we talk about that news, of course, we know there was the assassination attempt yesterday on the president, former President Trump's life. And so, I got the chance to hear from his wife, kind of what she said about things. But in the news, if you look today, crypto ran, right? And so what we'll do, man, let's get into some news, and then I want to be able to come back to how that manipulation can happen by looking at sharing a story from livemint.com. And so Bitcoin surges 2.7% to the 60,000 level again. And so when they said what is driving the rally, Bitcoin was down. It was down pretty much like 54,000, 53,000. And it had ran up to about 71, 72,000, right? And so with the thing with Biden, I don't want to say Biden was a big proponent of the crypto, and so it had its little peak, then it got flushed down. But Trump, over the last few months, have put himself in a stance that he is pro crypto. And so from the story, what they're saying is since he had the assassination attempt, he think his popularity is going to grow. He's almost ensured to be elected as the president. And so therefore, with that happening, that is why the Bitcoin is running today in the news. Man, what you say about that?
You know, and I, ever since that stance that he took, you know, because I remember him saying not too long ago that crypto was, you know, no good. There was no intrinsic, no value to it, and that, you know, it was just something that he didn't want to be part of. And as a president, you know, it was kind of something that was, you know, weighing on my mind, especially, you know, because I do have some crypto. But, you know, like I've been saying with crypto is just one of those things where you hold it, see what happens. I don't have a lot of it to where if nothing happened, but I will say that there are some good, you know, aspects to some certain cryptos that are out there, because it does lend itself to be part of, you know, schemes and scams, and so that's something that you can't discredit. But I think with Trump saying that, you know, and then, you know, now of course with what happened over the weekend, yes, crypto is definitely in play again. But speaking of the Trump and crypto, did you see DJT?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to show about when we talked about manipulation.
Yeah.
So because I think about our journey, bro, where we come from the traders who would see, okay, Sunday night, we see this happen, we say, okay, man, that DJT about to run. And then we anxious, and we may even try to buy shares in pre-market just to get in this thing. And so let me share this chart with you real quick. This will be the last one that I want to kind of see here. Oh, I pulled it up just so I can show that very thing. So if we look, I'll go back to, let me go back to, man, we can go back to 1 hour. Bam, go back to the 1 hour. So if we look at what was going on this morning, stock was right here by what is this? What is this? 9:30. By the time the stock opened, the stock was at 45. No, that's 46.13. So here to here overnight. When he talk about manipulation, right? Because you got to think, it was at one point I would wake up in the morning and I would see this 46 and I'd be like, man, this is about to go to 50, 60. This thing about to run today. Jose, I know you know how we get down.
Oh yeah.
And so we would jump in, and then this would happen. And so for the rest of the day, we left holding the bag until it closed. And so I don't even think it's showing, but it closed around 30 something today. I don't even know what it was, but it went back down like 35, 36 because it's down 3 hours and after hours, $3 and after hours. So maybe 37. What I'm saying is, this is manipulation at its finest.
Yep.
Big money jumped in about 4 a.m. this morning, ran the price up, waiting on everybody to meet them up here. And then all this happened within the same hour. All the way up, then all the way back down here. And then we didn't do anything. But yeah, man, that's that DJT, bro.
And for those of you who don't know, Donald Trump stock.
Yeah.
So you know, guy, it's you know, there's always something you know, out there to there's news, rumors, you know, there's events. If you notice, you know, when KT goes into the fear and greed, you'll see the swing that were happening where, you know, but you know, I also want to say, you know, in May we made the comment, you know, sell in May and walk away. And before we came back and before we went on break. We also toyed with the idea of buy in July and watch it fly. Sometimes you have to know those trends in the market to know when that time is coming. And just to go back to what KT was saying about manipulation, so we saw Tesla run. We saw Tesla announce their, whatever they had, quantities of cars, their production list. We saw that.
Mhm.
We witnessed some incredible gains over a week or so. We did leave some money on the table too, as well. I know in particular I sold a little too early on one of the calls that I had.
Always.
Yeah, but if you guys got in to the $300 call that I told you about for September, and if you are still holding, or even if you sold any of it at profit, congratulations. So,
Hey.
and like I said, KT, I got in at $80.
Yeah.
I don't care about that, but that's not, it's no joke, y'all. You don't have to be buying expensive stuff all the time. So going with that, now I want to say this, that manipulation happened 2 days ago. Tesla made a statement that they were pushing back one of their events or one of their timing things till October. So guess what happened to Tesla? Of course, $30. And so those of us who got out of our close calls, no pun intended, but if we had a close call that ended pretty soon, we got out. And if you weren't holding it, you did okay. The long-term ones for September in particular did take a hit. I want to say I lost almost half. However, ever since that day, 2 days now have run. Tesla's back in action on the uptrend. So remember, what goes up does come down, and what goes down does come up. So you have to know, you don't have to watch 500 stocks, 50 stocks all the time. Get familiar with a couple. Get familiar with a couple of sectors. Get in there. Do your research on those. If you have a list of a whole bunch of stocks that you can't track or possibly keep up with all the time, then it does you no good. Pick one or two to start with. Do your chart studies, do the news, do your fundamental checks, and just, have patience.
Rinse and repeat. That's it, bro. Hey, all right. What we'll do, man, let's take a quick break, and then we will jump into our heat map. Let's check that out. We'll be right back, Cal.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the...
All right, here we go. Heat check. All right, y'all. This is the heat check section of the podcast. And so in this section, we will talk about our fear and greed index, our VIX, and our heat map to kind of see, where we at with the money. Where is the stock market? And are we afraid? So first off, let's start with how we closed today. Apple, all-time highs on a tear, man. What are you expecting that from Apple, bro?
250 by the end of the year.
250.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're almost there.
I'm not gonna lie to
you. we can't see your screen though.
Wait a minute. It says your browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Try sharing your screen again. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, you can see me?
Yeah, but not the screen.
All right. No, I got to get back to the screen. Bam.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So now, like I say, Apple, all-time highs. Let's see what else we got up in here, man. Berkshire, still another good day, man. Berkshire just chugging along. Like I say, oh my God, I can't believe I handed it $200. Walmart, dude, worst trade ever, bro. Bought Walmart $60. Had 4 contracts, got stopped out, never bought it again. It's now 70. Come on, bro. Hey, bro. Where's trade up, bro? About it simply because I know after the split, the stock goes 10% the next year. History, clockwork, bro. That's why I'm waiting, bro. On NVIDIA. All right, man. What else we got? We got a lot of red over here, man. Utilities, they struggling. Yeah, it's rough over here, man. What's happening? Look at that. Any? Okay. Where else we have that, man? We got Eli Lilly still a beast in itself. Yo, so the biggest thing is
the banks are starting to release earnings. JP Morgan Chase did it on Friday. Today, Goldman Sachs. JPM took a little bit of a hit on Friday. So today I was surprised to see it up a good $6. If y'all don't remember that, I do own calls for August and for January. So we're going to keep that going. But there was a lot of chatter this week, in particular with the Tesla drop, that said people were cycling out of tech. I just don't know if I agree with that statement yet. You know, because like we say, you know, there was a reason the market needed to go down a little bit, you know, before we get into this greed as we get closer to it. But yeah, I think you know, your financials are right now. I do think, like KT was saying, some of your industrial, some of your commodities. I have been waiting patiently for coffee. Coffee was high about a month ago. It has steadily been on the decrease. We'll talk about that when I get to share charts on one of the picks that I have that I'm looking at and why. And so, but just think about, you know, getting to look familiar with this chart over again, your heat map, because it's a pretty good visual of what you can tell what's hot and what's not. So one green day doesn't make it hot. One red day doesn't make it cold. So just remember that, you know, you can't just look at it in isolation from day to day. You have to make sure that you're looking at it over time as well, because you want to make sure that you're making the right decision for your portfolio.
Hey, I will say this before I go to the next chart. The day that Tesla dropped, Uber popped. I was in right here, bro. I bought in back over here, bro. I was just waiting, bro. Finally, that thing popped, man. It was for 2026, bro. I was holding that thing. I was holding on. All right, y'all. Let's go over to next, our VIX. So with this, for me, you know, when I think about this May. So we didn't have, I guess it was still a slide down in the VIX. And so we know that with the VIX going down, the market is pretty much going up. So this May was pretty good. But what I'm worried about is August. Let me see here. Yeah, so pretty much right around here, we were sliding, but look right around here, man. End of July. Look at the VIX spike right there, right? Let's go back one more. Oh man, let's go. Let's see if they'll give me a 5 years. All right, so all right, here we go. All right, so we're not too bad around there, but the rest of this time, man, probably around August, dude. It's been rough, dude. Around August, man, this thing is popping here, man. So I think this year, with that data, we kind of got to look at what's going on, looking at what's happening in the summer. How are we positioning ourselves? So right now with the volatility index, because the VIX is going up and the market is going up, it makes me feel like people is putting money, but it's some scared money out there, man. hit on that?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head, man. You got July, end of July. You've got August, kind of, when it comes to some of previous trends. August is good. September, we both know what happened in September a few years ago. You have that Labor Day, you have all that coming up. So that stock market doesn't tend to withstand much in September. And then, of course, some of October is blood. But then you got end of year, you got November, people start buying, blah, blah, blah. December, end of year, people start selling off. A lot of people don't want to take, they don't want to carry their losses into the next year. So a lot of people start selling off in December because if you sell off enough, you get to have it taken away from any gains that you had that would make your taxes go up. And so people do that end of year. So it's going to be interesting. What's that?
I'll say this also election year.
Yeah. Election year.
So with that being said, more, as you see, between Bitcoin, Coinbase, all of those, more volatility, brother. More. All right. Let's jump into this fear and greed index, man. So as we said, fear and greed is jumping through the roof. The greed is going up. Oh, wait a minute. I did something. Okay. So 1 month ago, we were in fear, right? Remember, that's when we buy. That's when we was buying all that Tesla. Buy. Over here, we selling, right? Because we know once it get here, hey, people is gonna get very scared and it's gonna change. But previous close, so we've been in greed. Last week we were way over here, right? So it's something going on.
We don't see the fear and greed though.
Oh my God, man! Damn.
Yeah,
that boy gave the whole lesson, bro. Sorry about that. All right, y'all. Here we go. So, what I was saying. Right now, we are in greed. So remember what we said. Over here, we are buying, because over here we are selling. Stack up, get rich. We get rich over here. So we selling because we know eventually when this extreme greed hit, people's finna get out of here. Then we probably gonna start the cycle back over. 1 year ago, we were at extreme greed. 1 month ago, fear. 1 week ago, neutral. In our previous close, we were in greed. Man, what you got to say, Jose?
I'm just waiting. I think we've been talking about that fear and greed. I think it's going to be close here pretty soon to start, closing some shorter term positions. I don't know about September or January calls yet, but I do know that if I have some profits to take for any August calls, it's probably gonna be that time pretty soon.
Probably that time, yeah, man. We got time because, like I say, just knowing the head for August, I think I took I was trying to wait. I've been really playing that 4-hour chart, and so I was trying to wait, man. Patience is the thing. Could not wait, man. I went ahead and took the trades, but I picked up QQQ, SMH for January. And so we'll see what happens for this earnings season. I'm really putting a riding on it,
right.
But I don't plan on holding that long, man. I think, like you say, probably about the end of July. I'm gonna give them what they do. Hopefully, they're gonna pop before that, though, man, because we got earnings season coming up, baby. Tech is still the thing.
Yeah,
here we go. All right. All right. So what we'll do? Let's take another quick break. And then when we come back, man, let's check out some of these picks and what we got going on for the week. We'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute, man. Let's go.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I.
All right,
on, man. What got?
Fair.
All right, bro. So, trade with Ortiz, man. Look, I know you got something good for us, man. We've been out a few months. Man, it feel like a few months, man, but it was only 1 month. Man, damn, I guess to feel like more than 1 month, it was a good vacation, bro. Hey, so look, man, what we gonna do tonight, man? Give us something, man. What you got? What you checking out? And let's preface this. Will this be something that's in play for long term or something that may expire by the end of this week?
Well, this is going to be something that is longer term.
Okay.
So, the first, I'm gonna, I just tried to go onto the Webull, and I'm not sure why either this computer or my other computer won't let me share Webull on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and go through Robinhood. Let me try one more time. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do Robinhood. So can everybody see this chart?
Hold on, I'm about to put you on that. There we go.
All right, so this is a lot of people are familiar with, or a lot of people use the Robinhood chart. And as you can see, this is my Starbucks. Like I said before, coffee was at a good point not too long ago. Coffee was getting up there in price, and there has been a steady decrease. And so over the month, as you can see, I got my month right here. Starbucks is down $6.79 over the past month. So with that being said, I start looking at the different fundamentals of the chart, the different indicators. But remember, I always go to my bread and butter, which is the RSI, Relative Strength Index. And then I look at my MACD, which is my 26, 12, and 9-day moving averages. And so what I look for are trends for them to cross on top of or below. So the first thing that I want to look at is if you eyeball this 1 month chart, you see that you can clearly see a downtrend in which, we had Starbucks 81, that bottomed out at 72, and from 72, this area right here, 72.30, we've been kind of trying to crawl back up. So we did get a gap fill to 75, but now we're steady going back down again. So I want you to pay attention to this, number right here where we're at. We are at, the 72, 7309 for right now. And if we were to continue to go down, our first area to hit would be 72.75. And then, of course, we got our 72.36 right here. I'm going to put that on the 1 week so you can see it a little better. So here's where we took off at this bottom. And if you can see the dotted line all the way across, it matched our gap fill to the bottom. We've been talking about gap fills. We've been talking about looking at your trend line. So if you notice, the line that my mouse makes is all the way across, and it has touched the bottom of that gap. So if I go from here to here, you can see that line right there was formed. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that if we go back to that, that is where we could potentially retrace to from our current 7309. So I'm going to watch for that. If we don't, and if we can bounce off of this area right here that we're at currently, then, life could be good short term, until we get to 73.99, which would be our next gap up. And then we have this one right here at $74.73. So, and then if we can make it all the way past 75, life could be good in this area. So when I go out to the year to date, I look at my high point of $88.97 for this particular gap when it came down. So I know it was higher over here, but when this right here, we see this big red drop. We have a lot of red volume down here, and we went to the bottom, and we've never really recovered. So what does that tell me? I go back to the 1 month, and I see that I'm at RSI 40, and I see that my two lines are about to cross, and they could continue to have red volume. So I'm looking to see how far we can go. I did. So my pick that I got, KT, is I did two. I know you asked me, is this shorter term, longer term? So what I did was I went ahead and did $80 calls, $80 calls for September. September 16th expiration date, or September 9th. And I also went to January calls. And so I went ahead and took out some January calls for $100. So as you can see, here we have our, buy and sell options. We're doing calls. So if we went out to the expiration date of September 20th, and I said we did $80 calls, we're looking at $1.66.
$1.66.
Right, which would be $166 because everything is divided by 100. If you want to play it safe like I usually do, $85 call for 82 bucks. So when I click on this, I see that 12,523 people own this particular call, guys. That's a lot of people. September 20th, $80 call, man. Looking at your delta, your gamma, your theta, and your vega. If you go back to the original few podcasts, we go over that. But the important thing is 12,000 people own this particular one. $80 is under or right around the 10% because it's 73.09. 10% of that is $7.30. You add that to the 73, you get 80. So we're looking at a 10% increase by September. So a little more aggressive, January 17th. I went with something a little bit safer, $100 call, 66 cents, which would make it $66. Still, 7,000 people own one of these Starbucks calls for $100 for January. The important part about both of those is scaling in and scaling out. And when we say things like that, what we mean is you gotta, when you get in and you look at how many you want to buy, how many you can afford depending on your portfolio, and you think about, well, what am I going to buy? So with that in mind, if you think that it might continue to dip a little bit, or if history says it is, you get in with caution and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy one, or maybe I'll buy two. And then if it goes down a little bit more, I'm going to buy some more. If it starts to go up a little bit as you get closer or to the expiration date, maybe you buy another one. So with that in mind, I bought 3 of each today. Also something for the 166 that I, don't do, but I have, if you look at this chart, like I've been saying, this Starbucks chart is screaming to me that we are going to be moving in the upward direction sooner rather than later. And so I just that's my pick when it comes to what I'm thinking about with the options, with the game that way. But like KT said, we rinse, wash, repeat. I also, when Tesla dipped, I bought a different call for Tesla. So I did play that. And the most recent purchase, other than the Starbucks, was NVIDIA. And so with the NVIDIA, Let me just show you this real quick. NVIDIA's chart, even though we're still in an uptrend year to date, if I go to this 1 month and this 1 week, and then this 1 month, it's a steady consolidation area right through here with our RSI at around, still less than 50. So to me, it's a good buying opportunity. I went ahead and also bought some $200 calls for September for NVIDIA.
Let's go. Hey man, look, man, the man just came through and gamed us up. So right now, you saying we're looking at 920 Starbucks call. You can do $80 or $100.
$100 for January.
$100 for January. Okay. And then what was the second one?
NVIDIA $200 calls September.
200 for September. So you betting big on NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you, brother. All right. So man, that's two nice picks. And I will tell you, I am in both of those. And the thing is, for me, I'm in common shares in both them. I don't even have calls on them. I just got a bunch of shares in them, man. I may have to grab me an NVIDIA call just on GP. But I do keep those, keep my Starbucks going. Got a nice little dividend that keeps going. So yeah, man, I appreciate that information, man. So thank you.
So, appreciate that, KT. So let me. I'll say this because a lot of people, are wondering about what to get into, what to buy, and I know we can both speak from the same experience when it comes to, looking at charts, looking at data, looking at fundamentals. Right now, the portfolio for me exists of NVIDIA, AMD, Apple, Microsoft, tech giants, but then we have Starbucks, I have Caterpillar, I have JP Morgan Chase, and Deere. And so just to, let people know that, oil and gas, I really wanted to, but it didn't move the way I wanted it to when I was in. So I unloaded, Exxon, Chevron, Devon. But then now the price of oil is, gaining steam. So it's kind of like, well, do I jump in right now or do I wait? You can jump in if your plan is short term. If you want to day trade it or if you want to like do a swing trade for a week. But the way things have been playing out in the market for me right now, I'm holding it a little bit longer than normal. And the results have really, really gotten me some good gains over the past month and a half. And so, all it takes, if you want to, have a really good side hustle and do all that, $300 a day is $72K a year. But if you look at it as, $300 a day, in reality, it's $1,500 a week, or it's $6,000 a month. Either way, you can get there by daily, weekly, monthly. Pick your poison, do what you do. That's it.
Look, that Tesla was a 4-figure. It was a bunch.
Oh yeah, Tesla. Yes, sir.
It was a nice week. It was a nice week, man.
Blessed enough to sell Tesla 5 different times during that.
5 wash, rinse, and repeat. All right, man. Let's take a quick break. What we'll do when we get back, we'll go platform probing and we'll look at a few of the stocks that I am looking at long term. You know how we're gonna do. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. In this week's platform probing, what I am looking at is a little different than Jose. For me, if you've seen, I was looking earlier in the show, I had the McDonald's pulled up. And so I'm looking at a few stocks that are at annual lows that have really, really, really been beat up. And when I look at those, they also are some dividends, right? So you think about Nike, right? That just been getting beat up. I think it's like 70 something. Or either McDonald's. And so I just want to kind of show how this played out with the McDonald's. Let me see here. Because let me see what we bam. Okay. So with the McDonald's, I want to show everybody how this happened. What we can do is I'll take you through the play, right? For McDonald's, I knew that McDonald's was getting down to an all-time low. So I came over to my trading view and I said, once McDonald's hit 246, please let me know. Right? Please let me know. And so what happened was it came down here and McDonald's is right up in here, probably about 246, right up in here is when I kind of jumped into that thing, but not this day. Let's go back here. Let's go back through these days. So like today, we kind of popping down. But where this day at, Jose? Like right up in here, bro?
Yeah, right up in
that gap right there?
Yeah,
man, that was me. That was me, man. And then this day right here, I wash, rinse, and repeat. And this day right here, I pretty much did the same thing, man. And so now McDonald's is going down, but the whole time that this was going, I picked up a fair amount of shares right here, right? Because every time this thing touched, I picked up some more shares. It broke a little bit, but then what happened? It came right back here. So this is also where I'm looking at this thing gonna bounce again. But even if it don't, I still got a bunch of common shares to be able to support myself. Why? Because one is McDonald's, right? When you think about what we said, we buy quality companies.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when you think about that, this McDonald's is at an annual low. So I'm not buying high right now. I think what's going on with McDonald's, remember, because the news is always something that's important. So what's going on with them is they dropped their $5 deals, right? But now the economy is getting tight. They said, well, the deals that you put out are not selling like they usually do. People are now not having as more accessible cash. McDonald's is about to start dropping. People heard that, sell. And so this is where we came to when you look at McDonald's. All right, so this is a 1 minute chart. We don't want to see that right there. But even if we look at these 15-minute charts and we go back, right? We go back last week. We do a run, but we are on this. But what we doing? Still riding, hitting that 200, taking a bounce. We ride a little bit on the EMAs, but still, this is where I've been doing all my work from, Jose. This 4-hour chart right here. So like I say, whenever I'm catching it bouncing off of this, because I'm seeing what's happening every time, I'm making my mark. So the patient trader that I'm learning to be is I'm going to wait until it get right here. If it bounce, I'm going back in for the kill. And that'll be pretty much one of them that I'm looking for. But like I said, $1.67 a dividend. So for each share, $1.67, you'll get paid every quarter. So McDonald's, we know this is all-time low company. Make sure that you get into this at these low prices to be able to secure the dividends, and they have a 280 price target. So to be able to ride this thing back up, earnings coming up, it could get a little ugly, but it may not. Let's find out. Okay, my next one, brother, I came
like
prepared today. I got something. What'd you say? Anything on McDonald's?
I said I like that pick, man.
Hey, yeah, that was one, man.
Looking
The
at,
next one though
right now.
is one that we cannot overlook. And I'm gonna go back to this. I don't know what y'all doing if y'all play crypto, if y'all play Bitcoin. I don't know what y'all play. But for me, I play a little bit of that. But I'm in Coinbase, right? I got like a lot of money into this thing, like thousands of dollars in the Coinbase, right? And so, whew, y'all don't even know, man. Last few days it was red, especially when it was dropping. But I'm saying that Bitcoin continues, right? I'm saying that let's look at Bitcoin right now. Right now, 64,000, right?
Ooh.
And so and running 64 and running. So let's say this continues. Coinbase is going to continue. So we did a very good bounce. Once again, like I told you, bro, I've been working off this 4 hour, man. And so I'm looking over here for my 200. Look at the rejection. First, look at the bounce. I see this. I say, okay. I come up, bam. Then I get back up here to my 60. I'm looking at my rejection. I say, okay, this is not looking good. But look what happened. I still get supported again at my 200 EMA. So then what I do, I say I see support. I'm going to go for the long haul because I'm buying shares. So I bought more. Here we go. And here we go. 242. And we talking, I'm clocking them 212, 211. Oh, my God. So what I'm saying is, people, I don't think it's over. I think we're just getting started. So if you want to come in for some options, maybe catch you a few quick scalps, I think the chart is definitely prime for it. Let's look at right now. We've been riding at 20 on the 5 minute all day. So maybe we'll come back down. So right here, this was our entry. If we wanted to scalp a little bit, today?
Mm-hmm.
Today month. Yeah. So this was our entry if we wanted to scalp a little bit today, because we looked at it and it did bounce off of the 60. So right now what we're going to do is see if it comes back down to this 60. If it does, that would be a nice little entry. Like I say, this 5 minutes. So get in on the 5, get out on the 5. If it falls below this EMA and it closes below that, get out of there. So that's why you're gonna set your stop loss down here. But yeah, so that's what we kind of waiting on that pullback. We can't make it back down there. Then if you make it back down there, I can give you some grace by looking at 2 candles above this VWAP. So if we can get 2 candles above that VWAP to close, we off to the races too. So you got to pick your choice. You can scalp within the VWAP, or you can wait till we close that VWAP and then we out to the races, 250s, 270s, wherever we going next. Anything on that, Jose?
Just keep in mind, today was a pretty big jump. Like we said before, what goes up comes down. And if you are, you have to be cautious when you start getting into calls where the stocks have been on a tear. Same thing with Tesla, some of NVIDIA, some of AMD. Those calls that you want to get into, if you're doing calls either longer than a month or so, will be expensive. Just keep that in mind.
Most definitely.
I was looking at some September calls right now for Coinbase, and in the area of $100 to $150 purchase, you're looking at a 420 call. It's a pretty big jump from where we're at right now.
Way out the money.
By September, so you are looking at way out the money. Now, keep in mind with the way options work, though, if you've been following us long enough, you know that it doesn't take a lot of money to make a lot of money. And so even if that stock moves a little bit and you've dropped in $70, you can make some kind of money. So don't let that scare you. But just keep in mind though, if you have to, sometimes we talk about 10, 20% increases, for given stocks to make money. KT talks about being in the money a lot. Sometimes you got to go a little bit out of money to make the money. But when you look at particular stocks that have already run, that have gained momentum, they do become relatively expensive premiums when you're looking anything that is relatively close to the current price that we have. So sometimes you have to go a little bit out of the money, which is also rewarding because eventually, if it's gotten to where it's at today, eventually, if you go far enough long term, it could get close to where you want it to get to, and that's where you make money on the $70 purchase. So
$70, man. First thing you know, it's $22,000. Hey, man. Well, look, bro, I think that will do it for us for tonight, man. The biggest thing I want to leave everybody with is take the green. Always take the green, man. If you see it, Friday, I had I think it was like a $786 on the line, just quick trade. I was like, man, I just got it. I think I can hold off, and I almost didn't take profits, but I did because that thing went all the way, and then it went all the way back down, man. So make sure people take them profits when you see them. It's not yours until you hit that sell button.
That's right.
That's it, man. We got anything else as we close out?
I just want to leave y'all with this. KT, has really become great at taking those profits. Sometimes I stare off into space thinking it'll get higher. But I'll leave you with this. One word of advice is once you sell, don't look back.
Don't look back.
I sold a couple of Tesla calls last week, where I made probably about 900 on each one that I sold. Lo and behold, I checked back again the day after I sold, and they were sitting at around $5,000. So don't ever look back.
Don't look back. Oh my God, y'all. Look, another week in the books, man. We back to work, man. So I guess we back next week. Let's see how this market treat us. Y'all got a few things to look at this week. Check that Coinbase. Kind of look at that Starbucks. Man, I can't remember what was the other call, man?
Nvidia and McDonald's.
Yeah, Starbucks. Oh yeah, you got to look at the Nvidia, and you got to check out that McDonald's. I think that's what we're looking at for this week. Things will keep going. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We got a scary close. VIX going up. Got a little greed out here in these streets. So could be rough, but I think we'll be all right. Until next Monday. Y'all stay good, man. This is KT.
And JoJo, baby.
Hey. 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
KTTV.
KTTV.